How will humans evolve in the future? From smaller brains to bigger eyes, achieving space travel to becoming cyborgs, able to connect with machines and computers. These are some of the ways that humans might evolve in the future. And in this video, we'll be discussing 10 of them. So if you want to know what your great-great-great-grandchildren will look like hundreds of years from now, watch this video till the end. Are you interested in the strange and the unknown? Subscribe to Fact Monkey and ring the bell for more mind-blowing content. Evolution is driven by the quest for survival, and from scientific history, one of the key players in the course of evolution is natural selection. Natural selection is a gradual process that rewards certain favourable characteristics of species at the expense of others. Members of a species with unfavourable characteristics are naturally eliminated as they fail to survive, and eventually reproduction ensures species of their kind are permanently eliminated. But thanks to huge improvements in medical science and public health in recent times, the effects of natural selection has been substantially hampered, at least in the last few decades. According to an evolutionary principle called the Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium, evolution is sure to take place if at least one of the following conditions is in place: gene flow, non-random mating, mutation, genetic drift, and natural selection. While the powers of natural selection might have been weakened by technology and medicine, all other 4 conditions are still being met, pointing to the fact that we are still evolving as humans. To predict the possible evolutionary traits that will be seen in the future is virtually an impossible task. Evolution itself is a complicated phenomenon because it depends on the need for survival. It is defined by the external pressures facing a particular species, in this case humans, and because we cannot possibly foresee the external pressures impacting our survival that will be prominent in the future, it makes the prediction of evolutionary traits even more difficult. That said, we could still make some educated guesses based on the current trends affecting our existence in our world today. Here are 10 of them. Number 10. Bigger eyes and genetically modified faces. As the human race embraces genetic modification, scientists believe that humans will be engulfed in a perennial battle to adapt our human biology to meet our immediate needs. In the future, our facial features and outward appearance will be dictated by our human tastes and our natural biological evolution. One of the key developments in our natural biology will be the development of larger eyes. As we begin to travel to other planets to colonize new territories in space, we will venture further away from the sun, and as such, our eyes will grow larger to adjust to low light environments and possibly develop low light vision. Number 9. Planetary Relocation. Another way a new species of humans may develop is to achieve geographic isolation outside Earth, on another planet. If a colony of humans jet off to another planet, where they will be faced with an environment that is different from ours, it is entirely possible that a new species of humans could emerge. Already, scientists, engineers, and space entrepreneurs are exploring the possibilities of sending humans to Mars. So, we may not be too far away from the appearance of a new human species. Number 8. Smaller brains. One prevalent belief about our evolution is the idea that future humans will develop bigger brains. Now it is true that humans have the largest brains of all primates, and this has been linked to our intelligence, with the likelihood or the expectation that as a species we would only become more intelligent. It is understandable to think that our brains will become larger, and a bigger skull will be required to house them. However, evolution is not that straightforward. In reality, the human brain is on the extreme end of how big it can be. Having a bigger head than what we have now is not atomically plausible, so if our brains are not going to get bigger, they are not likely to stay the same either. Instead, we should expect a reduction in brain size. Number 7. Bigger bodies, new body shapes. There is a strong relationship between the size of our brains and the size of our bodies. In the last 300 years, research shows that our bodies seem to be getting bigger. However, it is difficult to see how this trend will be sustainable. Frankly, there is a limit to how large our bodies can get before the mechanical demands on the human tissues become unbearable. Any huge increase in the size of the human body will have to be complemented by a change in the shape of the body. Number 6. Grand averaging. Another key change we should expect to see in our future is something that has been termed grand averaging. Geneticists have noticed something rather peculiar in human evolution. They have discovered that humans are becoming more alike. For evolution to occur, there are 3 components required. One is natural selection, then gene variation, and finally, geographic isolation. Talking about gene variation, the natural cause of evolution depends on the differences in our genes and in our ability to pass on these genetic differences. It is when there is a huge difference in our genes that a new species arises. However, as our world's population continues to mix, geographic isolation becomes difficult. As such, we are creating a genetic continent where in time the human race will begin to look more alike as it becomes an average or a mixture of all the different physical appearances that are still observable across different today. So we might have a world with more multiracial people, as people from a single race will become far less common. Number 5. Genetic engineering. While grand averaging begins to take hold in our race, the interference of technology in genetic engineering might lead to the development of the perfect human species. Using genetic engineering techniques to modify our genes, scientists will look to uncover the secrets behind human intelligence, health, longevity, and athletic prowess. It is possible that if we can fully understand how to decode and modify our genetic makeup, scientists may be able to unleash a new species of humans who are supremely intelligent, healthy, and strong. As far-fetched as it may sound, genetic engineering is not science fiction. Scientists all over the world are actively researching this field in a bid to cure a host of diseases. Number 4. More flexible bone structure. When it comes to our physical appearance, our future species may no longer require the rigid, inflexible bone structure that we have. Instead, we might develop more cartilage in our skeleton. This would be precipitated by an increase in health, safety, and medicine, which will translate to the reduction in the danger of forceful impact. Because of this, we could evolve into having more flexible skeletons. Also, as technology continues to play such an important role in our lives, it is difficult to see how our species will not make evolutionary adaptations to accommodate an interference with technology. With our hands as a primary part of the body with which we interface with technology, by typing and touching, don't be surprised that future humans might develop very flexible, less rigid fingers that will make typing and touching much faster and easier. Number 3. Weakened bodies. Sorry to burst your bubble, but from what scientists say, we are not likely to turn into human hulks in the future.
I'm always angry.
As our bodies begin to evolve and our brains become smaller, our nervous system will prioritize areas of the brain that are needed for memory, learning, and coordination. As a result, our bodies will divert less energy into developing muscles. Our evolutionary history already supports this. Over the past thousands of years, humans have become physically weaker as our brains are less concerned with physical prowess than they are with intellect. Future humans will be a lot thinner and slender, and to them, pictures of Arnold Schwarzenegger will look awfully weird. Number 2. Weaker immune system. Your immune system is a vital part of your health. In fact, it is the reason you can recover from any disease. A defunct immune system is practically what we know today as AIDS, so it becomes worrisome when scientists predict that in the future our immune system might become weaker. Number 1. Infusion of artificial intelligence and cyborgs. As technology begins to define our way of life, in the future we are likely to take advantage of technology to create bionic parts to replace organs in our bodies, essentially turning us into cyborgs. We already have devices like pacemakers and artificial valves, but in the future we might be talking about bionic artificial hearts and other biomedical implants that will improve the quality of life for humans. In fact, many scientists strongly believe that in the future, humans will perfect the art of combining their bodies with machines. These scientists believe that this could happen in the next 200 years, and with Elon Musk and his neurotechnology company, Neuralink, developing a chip that will connect our brains to machines, best believe that your children are more likely to look like Victor Stone from DC movies. As advantages in medicine continue to take place, future humans will become more reliant on pills and jabs to stay healthy, leaving the immune system with little or nothing to do. An inactive immune system will result in an inefficient immune system, leaving us exposed to an unfamiliar pathogen that could wipe out humankind entirely. So, which of these evolutionary traits, in your opinion, is more likely to occur? And which of them scares you the most? Let us know what you think in the comments section. See you in our next video.